hidden.
Hello, and welcome to the Strange New Worlds Rewatch podcast on Live Long and Podcast. I, because no one else wanted to do it, am your host, Kevin Millard. With me tonight, we have a great panel. We have my wife, Ashley. How you doing?
It's good.
Yeah.
We have Chris Murphy.
Howdy.
And Adam Woodward.
Hey.
So we're back for the most exciting episode I think I've ever seen of this show.
Only 2 years in the making.
Yeah. So
2 years.
What did everybody else think of this episode? Let's start with you, Chris.
You know what? I was pretty into it. I admittedly completely kind of forgot everything that happened in season 2 and all the things that like led up to them being in the situations they were. I feel like maybe this episode would have been better as a season 2 finale.
Yeah.
But it was a good start. It was a little kickoff, see where things go.
Did you rewatch the last episode before you watched?
No, I didn't have time. I meant to, but I didn't have time.
I would have totally forgotten. I would have been totally lost if I.
I put the finale on last night, so we watched it last night because I wanted to remember.
Clever. Yeah, I should have done that.
So, Adam, how about you? What
This was the perfect start to season 3, and okay. I watched the season 2 cliffhanger episode a few weeks ago just to get myself reoriented. I forgot how great it was. It was a great way to end, and if you take yourselves back to Best of Both Worlds, which I think is one of the best cliffhanger episodes, into season 4 and 5 of Next Gen, this reminded me of that. The intensity of this episode was great. Didn't let down. We'll get right into it, but man, I loved it. Perfect episode. And Kevin, you'll appreciate this. Only 50 minutes.
Yes.
It's funny that you say Best of Both Worlds, Adam, because I said that to Kevin partway through the episode when the 4 of them are on the Gorn ship. I was like, this is so Best of Both Worlds. I'm like, this feels just like that.
It's the Gorn. We don't have Dave's fancy soundboard for this episode, guys. You just got us and our sultry voices.
So what did you think?
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy. It's so funny because I also said to Kevin that sometimes I get a little bored with the super epic episodes, which is funny because Discovery was nothing but epic and I absolutely loved it. But I think and I do this with like Next Gen and stuff too, that when it's all of these sort of standalone episodes, when you get these overarching like big epic ones, I'm like, all right, let's just go back to a silly one now. So I liked it, but I was kind of like, it felt like it could have been one episode.
Yeah.
I liked it myself. I feel like we're buttoning up the Gorn. We're not going to revisit the Gorn after this, which I like because I was getting a little tired of them. But
they're expensive to make too.
What's that?
They're expensive to put on screen, So
yeah,
you
sure.
can't waste their entire season 3 budget on a Gorn epic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we get into the screenshots? I am going to need help from you guys. If you remember, Chris, I am not so good at remembering what happens in shows.
Or movies.
Remember when you guys tried to get me to recap a movie I had seen 100 times and I could not do it?
That was a great episode of Hold Up, by the way. Yeah, no worries. I will do the best to my recollection. I did just watch the episodes before this podcast, so it's still pretty freshly baked in my brain.
Well, I'll just have to help.
We also got Vulcan Rumble in the chat. Welcome. So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, we start off where we left off. They're under attack, or they're under attack by the Gorn.
Pike has a big decision to make.
This is the first episode, though. I remember feeling like he is not in control. Like he is at like, I don't know what to do now. My ship is being blown apart. I've got colonists somewhere else. I got crew members somewhere else. Like, it's not looking good at this point. And this is why the ending of the previous episode, because you've got the feeling that he's in an impasse. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and he quickly defaults to asking his team, like, what are my any options?
Yeah,
actually, I like that more than I do in any other Star Trek. He is much more collaborative with his bridge crew than other captains.
Yeah, that's what makes him a good captain.
Yeah, exactly. Any good leader, you're out of options. What do? You go to your crew.
You go to your team. Yeah. So what?
I mean, they all give him different options at this point. He
So
kind of says no to most of them.
Yeah, they're trying to like establish communication, but they're unable to do that. I believe they wanted to ultimately run into the ship. They're gonna. They ran into.
Yeah, their option is to retreat. The best option is to retreat and rescue them later.
Yeah.
So they're trying to put homing beacons on the ship that's holding.
And they do that with torpedoes, right?
Yeah, they hide them in the torpedoes.
But to do that, they have to basically ram the Gorn ship.
Yeah, so they have to remodulate their shields to be able to get through their shields to ram the ship. It's very Star Wars.
I'm a little disappointed nobody yelled ramming speed.
All hands on deck, though. Prepare for impact.
Yeah. Again, to me, this was just a great scene. Like, you have, like, I understand the epicness of this, Ashley, because it is larger than life. But man, did it look good.
Yeah, I was so hyped for the title intro and just like going back to like space, the final frontier, it brought me back.
Yeah, did they change that from last year, or is it the same one? I wasn't able to catch that.
I thought the same thing when it started. I was like, is this different? But then I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so from what I can tell is some of the visuals of the intro are different, at least. The
audio. Yeah, the disc of the nacelle I thought was much more close. You could see, and I could be wrong, but I noticed it.
There was also certain shots where there's a Klingon ship that was chasing it and stuff like that. So it was they probably did some slight updates.
All right, so we're in sick bay now with Christine and Patel. Right?
Yeah. So remember, she's now infected. She got infected last.
Yeah, I did not remember her getting infected at all. I was like, when did that happen?
But it was very aliens-like because she was infected, and the Gorn were leaving her alone. And if you remember from Aliens,
right?
Yeah. That's how they.
Oh, right, because they were down on the field. Right.
Yeah,
it's all back to me, right?
Yeah. So here's where Patel says, "Hey, I was serious. If it's between me and people getting eaten by the little Gorn, kill me." And Christine's not quite ready for that.
But she agrees.
Talk about that right now.
You never give up. You always be hopeful, right? That was what they said.
So Pike's not liking these answers right now. So
no.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave them behind, but he doesn't have much choice. Yeah.
She was trying to put her in, cryogenically freeze her, but she's allergic to the solution.
Yeah, which keeps her on a ticking time bomb, essentially.
Yes. So now they only have a day to figure this out.
Right.
Norman's like, okay, so Mbenga abducted and Chapel's already on leave at this point. Where's Enterprise's medical staff?
Apparently they're there.
There shouldn't only be one doctor. Where are the other
doctors? There's a shift change.
It's classic Star Trek, though.
It is,
everybody important, leave the ship, please. Is this him talking to April?
Yeah, this is him in April basically discussing the demarcation line, the threat that the Gorn are going to have. Pike's trying to basically be like, listen, we don't have time for them to basically engulf us, because by the time we're ready for that, it'll be too late. We have
Yeah.
to figure out a way to stop this. And April agrees for the most part, and basically tells Enterprise that you're on monitoring duty of the demarcation line, but ultimately, it's
Get your people back.
yeah, get your people back. You off the books, go get them.
Yeah, April is like representing the diplomatic line, but Pike is like, no, we got to hit them. Like they're gonna come at us if we don't.
Yeah. So, hence the Gorn hegemony. Yeah, this seems all right. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Like, it basically it sort of implied the importance of like what they need to do and figure out how to stop this impending invasion.
Yeah,
But it's always interesting to me in these is April basically summed it up. He said billions of lives are at stake. You've got a 5 crew member or 4 crew member plus a couple of hundred colonists, but billions. If something happens here, and I mean, Pike called it. Like they're going to invade and they're going to push you back, and there's no time to wait. But and again, like I think that April called it well and said, officially this is your job, but unofficially I'm turning my head. Go do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So what do we think of Scotty? Do we like Scotty? And
I'm a fan.
Do we like Scotty with
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
This dynamic? I
really do. I had to this morning when I watched this, I rewatched this scene because I really have a hard time understanding her. It's the pitch of her voice plus the accent, and I didn't get it first. But man, I think this is a great dynamic. I love the fact that she ribs him for not being in class. But she totally understands him. You have this inspiration, you don't document what you've done, and you can't do it again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Scotty's always had a little bit of a crazy streak. Like he does things out of the box, always has, and so does she. And I think this is this is where he sort of learned that.
Yeah.
With her being his professor, and then I guess he's gonna learn under her on the Enterprise. I like him. I think this actor does an excellent job of being a young Scotty.
So
yeah,
like I thought Simon Pegg did that well as well, like that sort of wackiness about him.
Yeah,
I like Simon Pegg Scotty too. Yeah,
yeah, and now I'm equally liking this guy. I think he's just got it as well. He's got that mad scientist kind of vibe about him, and I really enjoyed his performance today.
Yeah, Martin Quinn's bringing a really interesting take on this role, sort of like a budding, doesn't quite know his own genius yet, sort of Scotty, and having Pelia in his corner to just sort of shape that. As I'm super excited to see where this like whole arc goes, and it's probably my most interested storyline in this show at the moment.
This young Scotty kind of reminds me of old Scotty in Star Trek 4 and 5, where he's just kind of a little silly and a little, cracking jokes and yeah.
So this whole scene is basically Scotty's trying to figure out how to turn the Gorn cloaking device that he used on the surface in his shuttle pod
into a transponder.
Yeah, and adapt it so that the whole Enterprise can actually hide from the Gorn sensors, but he can't figure out the power conversion, and he doesn't think it's going to happen. And before he can even get a word out to Pike, being like, "I don't know if this is going to work," Pelia is like, "What time do you need it?"
But again, she knows how to play it. Like you give the guy a deadline, and he'll
yeah. It's why he always overestimates his deadlines now, because he knows somebody. Because Pelia was always messing with him.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, guys, this is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
This scene.
Yes.
getting
was-
into the guts of the Gorn.
Yeah.
yes,
yeah.
I loved this.
And being digested. Like,
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it was very callback of the Matrix. Like, oh, humans are their battery sources. Okay. Or, beings of any form are their battery sources.
But this whole, like, when she's becoming aware and waking up, like she's dreaming about the past and her the incident with it when she was a child, and she just comes alive, like awake, and has to get out of this sack. And oh my God, it's horrid. Like to think about this. And can we just continue here? Because I think this scene was so brilliant. This is the first time they saw, like, when you see like Picard as Locutus, for instance. I mean, that was probably the closest we ever saw to real
PTSD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But now this, like, they're coming out of here and like Sam is vomiting. Like Ortega's lost her finger. Like, I mean, it is brutal.
Everybody's getting scars in this scene, mental and physical, including Ortega's hand, who's missing half of her hand.
Yes.
And you're going to reveal in the next shot here.
I love how, like, gooey and gross they made the inside of this ship seem. And you can just tell, it's kind of like when you watch the Alien movies, you can tell just looking at it how warm and humid it is in that ship too, which makes sense because they're reptiles, right? Like, it just seems like just this hot, gross, gooey ship to be on.
Yeah,
they did really well with that.
Well, it is a digestive tract.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they did really well with it.
Yeah, it looks very mucky. The thing I liked when, like, leading into this whole scene was just before, like, Leon starts letting them free and she's, like, snapping out of her own sort of, like, hypnosis of the PTSD. She's like, free the doctor first. And she goes right for Mbanga, and then, like, everyone starts coming out. And, during the scene, Kirk, I guess he's technically Kirk.
About that, though, it just shows, again, I think that, again, brilliant. It just shows the training. What do you do first? Find the guy who can help,
Yeah.
But yeah, while they're trying to figure out, Kirk here figures out, hey, this looks like a waste hole. Like, the thing can't digest certain things, and it just goes down here, and he ends up pulling out, like, the world's boogie of a phaser. Just... everyone's just like, all right, well, this is unexpected, but in the right direction. And Leon basically, everyone arms up.
Well, and then they have that realization that there's all these, like, hundreds of people off the planet that they're just not going to be able to save because they'll be digested before they can.
Oh yeah, and this is where she proclaims they're all going to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody leaves. Then we're back to Scotty, and he's trying to figure it out, but he can't quite figure it out. He's, there but not there. Pieces it together, turns it on, doesn't turn on. And then within the scene, Pelia rushes in. She's like, we're about to die. Everything's we gotta go. The Gorn's here. We gotta go. We gotta go now.
Then you plug one thing in and the whole thing works.
Yeah, he snaps it together. And she's like... put the phaser to your head and you put it together. You have all the time in the world and you fall apart, but you put a phaser to your head and you're good.
Apparently she's Colonel Clink.
It's the closest I can get to that accent.
I think it's the closest.
It's better than hers because I can understand you,
You always took your time in the class. Oh, Scotty. Yeah.
But she had a little giggle there, which was kind of cute, too.
Yeah, she's like, she figured him out, but then he gets super sad about it, and he's like, I need to go away, and he runs away. And she feels bad, but it worked. So yeah, they're I think they're bull rushing back to Gorn space, and they're at this point testing if Scotty's device actually works. And
this is where the Gorn come at.
Yeah, in this part they're like, so they won't be able to censor us, or they won't be able to detect us in sensors. And Uhura's like, yeah, no, they use like basically like heat vision. And I was expecting her to say like echolocation at one point, but she didn't really say anything like that. But to that degree, And she's like, yeah, as long as they don't look out the window. And then Pike gives her the dirtiest side eye in the whole episode. He's just like, don't say that. She quickly turns around. Oh, sorry.
It is a good point, though, because, I mean, don't they use view screens?
Apparently
I
not.
mean, yeah, it didn't seem like any of those ships really had windows.
Yeah.
I don't know how Ortega was flying that ship, but, good on her.
She was born for it.
Yeah, she's born for it. I fly the
Even
ship.
missing a couple of fingers.
And her guts,
Yeah, her guts are falling out. She's got half a hand, and she's still like, I fly the ship.
I fly the ship. I guess
So yeah,
that's Pike always checking on.
yeah, checking her like
vitals,
medicals,
yeah.
and when you're back to Spock and Christine trying to put their
So-
super
so-
brains together.
Yeah, and I
Spock-
love
Spock is-
every one is 100% chance of death.
and Spock's being asked now to help Christine. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
your point's very valid. Where the hell's the rest of the medical team?
I mean-
I
They were just in battle, so I'm sure some of them are no longer alive, and the rest are probably helping crew. But there should be at least one other medical officer in the.
Or at very least an AMH. I mean, like where,
well, this
EMH
is
doesn't
well
exist
before
yet.
EMH.
Oh, you're
time,
right. Yeah. Sorry. Forgot that part.
Yeah, I would say Ashley's probably on the right track. The rest of the medical staff is probably spread out on the ship, attending to wounded throughout.
Oh, they
But
do
it does
say
seem-
that there's an emergent, like an overflow medical bay at the end of this episode, and that might be where everyone is to keep them away from Patel.
Oh yeah, that's true, right? Because they're worried
Because
she's
in
gonna turn all.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that makes a lot of sense. There's who are just in quarantine with her, trying to figure it out, and everybody else is in safety. Okay. Yeah. No, that tracks. So yeah, these two are figuring they're pretty close when Spock gets the idea of what if we use Laon's blood.
Luna.
Luna's.
Before they
Luna's.
get
Yeah.
there,
Sorry,
they-
Luna's.
They try street drugs, and that sort of gives them the idea of something bigger.
Oh yeah, some
Yeah,
Orion street drug.
Yeah, and that's what sort of sets them off. And we got to think outside of the box, and yeah, they eventually land on what was her name again?
Una.
Lauren? Luna.
Luna.
Yes.
Una.
And
Una.
this is also where, at the absolute appropriate time, Spock starts to talk about his feelings.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
No, listen, they're fine here because the test is going on, so I can deal with that. Kevin, I hate this relationship from last season. I want it to end, and I think it may have ended right now. Like this is in this.
Oh, okay. I'll say this real quick because this is gonna branch over to the next episode. But they kneecapped this relationship last season. This season, they dragged the kneecapped relationship into the backwoods, shot it with a shotgun, and buried it in a deep hole in the next episode.
Oh,
This
okay.
relationship
Don't
is
tell me
long dead. We will never think about these two connecting together unless you watch the TOS and there's that brief in there, But this relationship needs to die and not go any further.
Does Spock throw soup at her again?
Just gazpacho.
What?
Do you remember in the original series where Spock threw
yeah.
a bowl of soup at her?
No, he doesn't do that
Oh darn!
this time. I think though what they've done here with the two of them, it actually explains pretty well their relationship in the original series.
Yeah,
Like their
yeah.
awkwardness and whatnot. It's not
Yeah,
just
it lends.
unrequited love. There's a history, right?
Yeah, it lends into that very well. I think it's a solid base for, that classic interaction.
But I don't really want to watch any more of it. I would like Spock to do something else now.
Yeah.
More science.
Yeah.
I don't think they touched on this enough, but I understand why they used Una's blood or went to go get it. But do you remember when Patel actually went and arrested Una?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I couldn't figure out and I couldn't remember very well is it because she was ordered to, or is it because she actually felt that way against the Illyrians, because this is going to be interesting if that was the case.
Well, I guess we'll see, because at the end, when Pike tells her what he did, she says, "You shouldn't have done that."
Yeah, I remember that, but it didn't really go any further. Right?
No, but that may be something that comes up later.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. I don't think it's anything. I don't think she has any type of hate towards Una's kind. I believe she was merely following orders. And I also believe that her reaction to, getting cured is because of the implications from Starfleet.
But I think in this, like, when you look at the fact that 100 and whatever many years later in Deep Space Nine, there's still a stigma against genetic modification and stuff, and people still have a sort of gut reaction to just not wanting to be involved in, and I think in this era where it's even closer to like all of that Noonien Singh stuff, that more people are going to be, even if they don't mean to be, they're going to have that just sort of slight bigoted reaction against people who are genetically modified. And I think she was, I'm sure, just following orders, but I have a feeling that a lot of humans probably have an instant gut reaction to, oh no.
I think her reaction is protecting Pike. She does it through the whole episode.
Yeah.
Everything is about protecting him. And I think she says you shouldn't have done that because he'll get in trouble for it. Like, this is not allowed.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is that, when they were talking about doing this, like, this mission is never happening anyway. So, but the fact is, if you're going to transfuse her with blood, Starfleet Medical will know.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
And they injected her with something that is going to change her body fundamentally without consent.
Will it though? Is there potential for that to happen by getting a blood transfusion? She's gonna just start having superpowers all of a sudden.
I mean, I'd be pretty stoked. Like, I was gonna die and now I'm Superman. Amazing.
Yeah. Wait, I can heal quickly. All right.
I mean, I guess we don't know if the blood transfusion will do anything, but
I
mean, technically giving a blood transfusion if someone doesn't want it is assault. So,
but I mean, at the same time, it's not exactly like she was.
It was an emergency
of giving consent.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, there's all sorts of layers to it. It saved her life, but also she has a right to be upset about it.
There will probably ultimately be ramifications for this later in the season. That's gonna happen. But back on Spaceship Gorn, our away team, the Sticky Ickies are finding their way through the guts of the Gorn to, find an exit, and also, I guess they're laying, cookie trails for teleporters in the later of the episode. They had to hook up the coordinates for teleportation of the entire colony.
Yeah, they're looking for, because they say that there's the transporter codes. They need codes to be able to transport everybody, and the Enterprise doesn't have them.
Hey guys, I'm very curious to know who Norman's first or favorite Scotty is. If you notice, there's a comment there from him.
Oh, yeah, he says Martin Quinn is already his second favorite Scotty.
Well, I would hope the original one is.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hold on, and hopefully Norman answers here, because I'm dying to know.
So yeah, we're back on the Enterprise. We got Una and Uhura explaining that there's been a ton of patterns. They've been following all the lines back to what they believe is the Gorn homeworld, and they also have figured out that they run off of solar cycles, and certain solar cycles make them very aggressive for years to decades at a time, much like the dog behind me. But also, Uhura figured out that there's a frequency that puts them into a dormancy and puts them to sleep in a hibernation. And Pike gets
Seems like a
excited
pretty
by that.
big weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good enough to put them away. We don't have to think about the Gorn.
I like this. I like the solution. I just found this like I could just imagine Pike. Just please summarize. Get to the point.
Yeah. I think he says that. Like, just give it to me. Like, what?
Well, basically they're bears, and we're gonna put them in the cave. All right, we'll do it.
I mean, it would make sense. Maybe this is why they don't have view screens, because if they have such long hibernation periods, maybe they didn't have that technology before they went into hibernation the last time, and they've just recently come out of hibernation and haven't discovered view screens yet.
Yeah, they just again, I feel like they sort of work off like a weird space echolocation where it's the combination of, heat and
Well, also
sound.
what I was saying is like they've changed the Gorn so much from the original, but I really like that they still kept them dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So yeah, there was that little chat with Una and Pike, and she's like, she can have as much blood as she wants. This is off the record, so nothing's gonna matter.
yeah.
This is, I believe, the point where they're just about to get back to what is this really cool setup between two suns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our helmsman's got a headache, but she is not leaving her position. She's not leaving her station until everyone's back, and Pike's like respects it.
It was also tied to the whole we're getting into radiation now. I was wondering if she's feeling that radiation sickness.
Yeah, I was thinking it
Yeah.
was that too. I was like, "Ooh, that's coming on quick."
Yeah, that was. It was like they're not going to survive this if
I just
already.
assumed because he said that she's been sitting there for so long that she's tired.
Yeah.
She's
I mean,
starting to get tired.
that was definitely ultimately what it was.
It reminded
Yeah,
me
they
of
pull-
the scene in Battlestar Razor where Lieutenant Shaw was on the bridge for 4 days or something after the attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Battlestar. One day we'll review that show.
Oh, I sure hope so.
So yeah, is this where they pull up to the suns?
I think
they're
they're
still trying to figure out what they're doing because they're going between these giant suns that are like gravity wells.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're watching like a Gorn ship, just like they're like that Gorn
Disappear.
ship's heading into the sun, and they're like, is it really? And they're like, the trajectory tracks, and then it
he's like,
loses.
could it be the
power.
homeworld? Yeah.
Yeah, it loses power and just kind of floats between this like nexus point between the two suns, and then it launches off. Like, do you guys remember the Teenage Mutant Turtles pizza shooter toy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and how it had like the little spinny disc, or even like like a baseball machine. It's basically doing that to the Gorn ships, and it launches them off to their like home solar system. And they're all confused by it, and he's like, "No, I think this is intentional. I think that's
Pretty
intentional."
cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. I was big on this idea. I thought it was a cool scene, and it just made me think, why didn't Janeway just find two suns and slingshot her Voyager back to Earth?
But remember that happened, and then like thousands of Gorn ships start emerging.
Yeah, so that while they're sitting there, they're about to go in themselves, and I was like, oh, this will be cool, and then all of a sudden, just like a swarm comes popping out from this nexus, and they're like, we gotta pull a U-turn and let like Starfleet know. But we're gonna lose them if we leave a buoy with a tether to their frequency, and we'll come back for them again.
And this time, they're also trying to communicate with Starfleet to let them know this is coming.
Right, but
Yeah.
there's too much disturbance. They have to get back far enough
From
be
the
able to-
radiation of the sun, to pass the message along. And then we snap back to basically.
But sorry, Chris. One more thing here is you've also got, with that happening, Batel starts progressing
coding
a lot faster.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, Patel starts coding, and her the Gorns are starting to come out a little faster, and they've decided they were trying to do more tests, but they're like a 14% chance of survival is better than no chance of survival, so they just prep her for surgery. While these guys quickly decide that they're, dealing with the Gorn. It's the Gorn.
I love what they did with the ship in this episode while it's in red alert. I think it looks so good. The bridge looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks so good. And then even sickbay, it's really well done what they did with the lights, the red lights.
I like it too. I also like the fact that it's clearly been through battle. Like, there's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Pipes are hanging down. There's crap on the floor. It's not like a ship that cleans itself,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for someone to get under
a panel,
and pull that thing down and just mess around in there a little bit, like Spock did every single time.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Spock to do it.
Well, we had that episode with the lower decks, and there was that one episode where everybody's like, Boimler goes under the ship and pulls out all the wires. Yeah,
caught in it. Yeah, that's good.
I love these suits that they're in. That's a throwback to original series too. The red design.
Yeah,
and the red and the gold.
They're surgical suits.
Yeah, it's like they kind of look like Louis Vuitton bags.
These surgical suits are better than the TNG surgical suits for sure.
Oh yeah.
The red condoms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bright red. It's, so you can't see the blood that pours on you.
This was great.
Oh, it was so gooey.
So gooey, but
so is it just one Gorn or is it multiple? Because that looks like
it's multiple.
It's multiple, right?
Yeah, it's probably multiple. But I think there's one that's like particularly like bursting
for hatching.
Yeah. And I think at this point, Christine's about to like use her biomedical suction surgical knife blender on Patel, but then Spock's like, "Wait, I have an idea.
Maybe we just feed them."
Yeah, what if we just feed them and they'll get all docile?
But what they described next was even worse. And then her body will reabsorb them. Oh, gross.
Yeah. She's gonna eat them. She's gonna be pooping Gorn for the next 3 months.
So, did at this point? I'm just trying to remember here. Did Pike call Scotty and Talia up to the bridge yet and tell them they got to do something?
This is the point where he's like he's trying to figure out what to do exactly, and he's kind of there's a point where he's at an impasse, hence that like look on his face, and then he gets up and it looks like he's gonna walk over to the panel, but he just like repositions himself to talk to Una, and he figures out, what if we become a sun? What if we put them into early hibernation by turning Enterprise into the sun? And then he's like, science lab, get up here. I need to talk to you. And Peli and Scotty basically come up to the deck of the ship. And
he calls Peli, but she brings Scotty.
Yeah. He calls Peli as Scotty tags along. And he starts being like, we need to be a sun and we got to have a frequency and the Gorn need to go to sleep. So let's do this. And they're like, but what? How? And Scotty's like, well, we could kind of do this and this and, Star Trek gobble nonsense, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be the sun, but we could blow up. We could die. He's like, well, just turn it off before we blow up.
That was probably my favorite moment in the episode where he's like, well, we'll just turn it off.
Which, if I had the audio clip, I would play that at the end of this episode.
They have a plan, though. We're ready to go.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, they're trying to attract the moss to a flame by becoming the sun and having the frequency, so all the Gorn pull a U-turn and come directly back at them. Which, as this is happening, Enterprise is cooking and everything's sparking, and they think they got to hold on for a little bit longer, and it's super, super bright. It's super bright this whole time. Everyone's slowly going blind.
Let's shine like the sun, I think he said.
Yeah, shine like the sun. All the Gorns start heading back, and they're chasing. At this point, there should be like a switch back to the gooey away team, and they're basically figure out how to steal one of the Gorn's spiral ships, and that's when we get like the cool Ortega's like, I can fly, give me the tray.
Do we remember what happens after this? Because it did not put all of those screenshots into this PDF.
Did it not? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what happens after this screenshot. So yeah, Ortega and the away team find the ship, and they're trying to figure it out. And Ortega's like, just put me in this pilot seat. I'm the pilot. I fly the ship.
So, but we missed the point. Is like, so the Gorn did attack them before they got to this point.
Yeah, they were attacking them, right? Because they were trying to like get the codes and free some people, and then there's this one point where like Ortega gets like shivved with a Gorn hand up her guts, and it don't look good for her. But yeah, they fight off. There's a sweet scene where La'an just like runs up to the Gorn that's holding Ortega and just like puts the phaser in its throat and pulls the trigger and explodes, and it's like
just turns it into a mist.
Yeah, that was good.
Gorn jelly. And then basically they drag Ortega to the thing. They start flying the spiral ship, and then you get the scene where all the Gorn are chasing the spiral ship, all heading to Enterprise, and La'an's getting in touch with them and like, hey, here's transporter signals are coming in. Yeah, get them all out. And of course that starts to work, and then all the Gorn get closer, and then they start powering down, and then they all get, turtle-shelled pizza launched into their own system, and we turn off the Enterprise, and we save the day, and Palia's on super drugs to poop out Gorn, and everyone's safe, and the Enterprise makes it, and it was a really fun episode.
So they get through that crisis, they're back on board. Excuse me. I guess Ortega's in secondary sick bay, recovering, and then Pike goes to visit Batel, and this was a cool scene. Okay, Dad, you win, and then he begins to say the Lord's Prayer. And
he gets like one sentence in, and she's like, "Are you praying?"
Yeah, I was just like, I'm glad she stopped him.
Then they have this touching scene, and she's like, "I guess I'm okay," and he's like, "You're not quite out of the woodwork. You still got some floaties in you, eating away."
I like his progression from like mid-season last season with like their relationship, right?
Yeah.
Now he's like he's able to express himself, right? And he was only afraid before.
The micro expressions on Anson Mount's face during this episode were awesome. From the early scenes into that final scene with Patel, and he's just like welling up, and just like you can read so much going on in his face. You can tell what he's thinking without needing to say anything, and it's brilliant. It's brilliantly done. I was a big fan of those moments.
Well, all right.
That's the end of that episode.
That's the end of that review.
But we're not done. I guess we did get a second episode, which we're gonna have to talk about here. So,
well, guys, I'm gonna have to go because I haven't seen this one, and I'm not gonna.
We got to do ratings.
You got to do ratings before you go.
Oh,
well, you know what, Trav, you're here. Why don't you join us for the panel of the second episode? Do you think you can do that? I'll send me a DM on Instagram. We'll get this sorted, okay? But yeah, sorry, Adam, I didn't cut you off.
Yeah, we have a second feed, but did someone have the ratings?
Oh, right. The ratings. Snap.
I already looked it up, and there's no fun facts for this yet. but
Yeah, I was doing the same, Ashley.
yeah.
The only thing I'll call out is I like the I still think they definitely tied into Aliens or Alien and the Matrix here, and I like the both. I think it did it well. Like it wasn't crazy over the top. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dave has shared the ratings.
Well, let's just say our ratings and we'll
You
put
can
them
just
in.
say our ratings. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I have them,
Don't worry about it.
but I can't. I can pull it up for the next one.
Yeah. We'll have it for the next one. The IMDb rating for this episode, as of right now. Let me just figure that out. But first, Kevin, what was your rating for this episode?
I give this a 9. I like this a lot.
Solid. Ashley?
I'm 8.5. I think it was solid, but not up in the 9s for me yet.
Ashley, I forgot how hard you are on shows.
Oh, I can no, but I can also be like I can give just ridiculous episodes high scores. That's just who I am.
Okay.
Adam, what's your score?
I'm. This is as close to perfection as I can get. Like, I've been very critical of how long it's taken to get here to this to get on basically show this show, and so I'm just was waiting, and it's a 10.
10. Nice. I'm gonna give this one.
Great sequel or great opening or whatever you want to call this.
No, that was a great season opener for season 3. I'm up there. I'm gonna give this one a 9. It was definitely highly rated, and it seems like the average rating for IMDb currently is 8.3.
Really?
So, yeah.
See, I'm the
there's
close.
a
I
lot of
win.
9s. It's the overall rating, but if you look at the thing, 9s. It's a high 9s in the categories. So, okay.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go and watch the second episode. I'll see. Well, it's 50 minutes. I won't. You'll probably be done by the time but I'll give you my rating when I can. See you
Okay.
later.
Beauty.
Take care.
All right, bye, Adam. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us for this episode of Strange New Worlds Star Trek reviews. We're gonna turn this off before it explodes. So, live long and podcast.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.